Hello YouTube, MooseCow here. I'm doing a recap of round 1 of my face-off with Hoofbite. So, just getting into the nitty-gritty of things. First off, we'll start with what happened for research and development. Germany and the big 3 allies advanced to phase 2. Japan opted not to this round. And while I'm over here, we're just going to go ahead into the next bit of phase for the beginning of round 2. Everybody will advance their tech. So Japan will be at phase 2 and everybody else at phase 3 this round. Okay? Going back to round 1, what happened? Okay, so Germany did the usual Paris grab, bringing the Axis victory points to 6 currently, and this is everything here on this little task force marker of mine is what is in Paris. And then he took southern France with 1 tank and a few casualties from that. I think he lost 2 mechs out of that. And then kind of copying with what Joe did in our last game, Operation Valhalla. Hoofbite took the battleship and attacked the UK units here, and I did scramble, but he took out the UK naval units and had my fighter left, and then he opted to retreat so that the battleship could be back here. So that seems to be a new popular move, so I'm sure we'll see that more in the future. He built a aircraft carrier and a transport and I believe an infantry unit. He sent an absurd amount into Yugoslavia and wiped that. Took Bulgaria, sent a few units into Romania, has a few units in Poland, so safe to say it's not going to be a G2. Sent everything he could from Norway to Finland, and then brought over a couple land units to Norway, artillery and infantry respectively. Alright, so that about summarizes Germany's turn. Russia, not at war with anyone, consolidated in Leningrad, consolidated in Karelia, consolidated in Ukraine, pulled everything back that it could, built a strategic bomber and more ground units. Sent a mech over here, left an infantry here in Caucasus. In the Far East, everything went to Buryatia, and an artillery was railed from Moscow along the Trans-Siberian Railway. Japan, countering this, built a complex and went a little light into Yan'an and only took it with 1 artillery, and he airdropped everybody else into Hunan. Okay, and congregated, didn't do a J1, congregated in C-Zone 36. There's no naval base or anything, but he's all in C-Zone 36, and he built 2 transports plus that complex. All right. The U.S., not at war, sent what it could back here, flew the carrier, the fighter from the Philippines onto a carrier that went to 31, built a carrier and a battleship, congregated in 26, sent the naval units back here, and just has this going on in eastern United States. China, with the 1 artillery that was in Yan'an, went in with the Flying Tiger, 1 cavalry, 1 infantry, and took it back, and is congregating in Shenxi. The UK did the usual attack on the destroyer transport in the Italian destroyer transport in 96, and then congregated here and just pulled everything back. Took Iran and is congregating everything in India that it can. Let's see. Also brought the mech down and flew 2 units to Nigeria, plus a fighter from Gibraltar. Knocked out a German sub in the process, which again also took out the UK cruiser that was there. So Germany's only got 1 sub on the map currently. Oh yeah, and the Soviet sub went over there as well. And UK built 6 infantry in UK proper. That about does that. Italy opted to reinforce southern France, take Tunisia, took Gibraltar, did a walk-in with El Alamein, sent the fast movers to Tunisia, and dropped a couple guys into Transjordan. Is doing that whole shtick, and then spread out like a little bomb from Ethiopia, leaving the artillery behind, and taking British Somaliland, Kenya, and Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. Commonwealth congregated, moved down, moved up, congregated, and sent some guys over here to C-Zone 30. And went the West India guy, the guy in India went to West India. Destroyer came up there, etc. So that about does round one. Oh, France, very important, France. France, the French fought very valiantly, and the 3 units from Normandy, Bordeaux, and the fighter in London attacked 3 German infantry and completely wiped them, scoring 4 hits with 4 dice against 3 units, which got 1 hit in return. So France decimated the Germans in Holland, Belgium, but of course they will not. It'll be a short-lived victory, as they will be gone very shortly, I'm sure. And then besides that, France congregated there and joined up with the British over here, and everything else stayed the same. So that about does it for round one. As a recap of round one, Japan's not at war with anyone besides China currently. Russia's not in the war. US is not in the war. Yeah, that's it. So that about does it for our face-off round one. And again, we are developing our tech. Currently, this is the situation. This is the income tracker. Right now, nobody's overlapping. So that about does it. We will probably see Hoofbite's G2 sometime tonight.